Good morning. My name is Brandon Godwin. I am taking the PED 101801 course. This is my introduction video. Um, interesting about myself. Something interesting about myself would have to be that prior to being a nurse, I was actually a mechanic. I worked with General Motors for about 9 years before I went back to school. So now I went from working on cars to working on people. Which is pretty hard for a lot of people to understand how I made the jump. Um, but I did, and most people actually understand it. I can relate to a lot of people, especially a lot of older men kind of get it. I can explain things in a way they can understand. Four specific measurable and attainable goals for each of the following. So last year, I started getting back into shape, and for about 12 months, I continued to run and lift weights like I did when I was younger. And so last year I got into it. When I started back to school, it kind of took away my free time. So some of my goals from a cardiac standpoint, I would love to get back into at least a 7 minute mile. I would prefer to be in a low 6 minute mile, but right now that's going to be a lot to take on. Um, but we'll shoot for a 7 minute mile. We'll start out for probably a half-mile run for probably several weeks to build up my endurance so I can do that. Specific um, goals for resistance. I won't do quite as much weightlifting just because of the time thing with school and work and having a child on the way. So we have a lot of appointments and stuff. So for resistance training, I'll probably do a lot of sit-ups and push-ups. We'll start kind of low. Um, we'll start around 100 a day, and we'll see if we can't get it to maybe 200 or 300 by the end. We'll see where we end up with that. Usually do reps of 25 and just pretty much do them, back to back until I get my number in. Flexibility, a lot of this I will get back within running. I do stretch a lot often now. I have a tendency to pull muscles, so I have a tendency to stretch and stuff first thing in the morning before I take off to work. Working in an emergency room, we never know what's coming and what kind of stuff you'll be into, lifting and bending and pulling and stretching and stuff. So I try to do that on a daily basis anyway. But running is a good way first thing in the morning to get my stretching in. I do a little bit of warm up and then a run, so that does help. As far as one dimension of wellness other than physical, I'll say spiritual. More from the mental standpoint, this helps me, just starts my day off better. When you wake up and want to go for a run, you feel like you accomplished something. You feel like you're doing something for you. You kind of lay everything else down, and it kind of goes away for a little while. So that would be my dimension of wellness other than physical. At least one well thought question to my classmates. I will probably hit this on the individual videos when I ask the questions. As far as now, I see the minimum required stuff for exercise. Most of my intensity stuff is gonna be around a 5 to a 7. And I will include those. I think that pretty much concludes my introduction. If there's anything else, I'll come back and record again. Thanks.